Hey, Sean.
Yeah. X gonna give it to you.
That came out of nowhere.
I didn't realize that DMX had died.
Really? He died it's probably been almost 2 years now.
Yeah, I didn't know. I heard that on the radio the other day. It was like DMX would have been blah 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 had he not died.
His name is Earl.
Really? In real life?
Yeah.
That would be such a worse name.
Earl?
Yeah, the famous rapper Earl.
Yeah.
That's a show. My Name is Earl.
You mean the dead guy, the movie? No, that's Bernie. That's Bernie.
Oh, Weekend at Bernie's, or
Yeah.
yeah.
How was your week?
Short. I've been working still a lot. Just freaking boom, 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 boom. It's already Friday. It's like, holy crap. So, how about yours? You've finished this thing up?
Dude, I haven't worked on this code since I think like Sunday. My job just keeps me hella busy.
Your salary?
What was that, a cat?
Yeah. He snuck in, little bastard. Yeah, if he comes back,
I don't know how people program without a compiler.
What do you mean?
Let me say that differently. I don't know how people program without or using dynamic languages. I would just be lost like I am right now.
I don't know. It's pretty easy. I mean, if you break things up pretty small and build modules. But that's the thing is, like, I think that I'm very convinced that unit tests are almost always necessary for anything scalable with a dynamic language. So,
you know what's interesting is I expected this to, like a dictionary is a key value pair. And I would think that if you say dictionary.values, it will return you the values, right? Because of that list of key value pairs. But no, this is returning you a value collection. If I don't do values, then it just returns me a dictionary. Hold up. I'm expecting it to return me a sequence of float arrays. That's what I'm expecting. But no, it doesn't do that. It gives me a value collection of int float array when I just want. Or hold up, am I looking at this wrong? Maybe it is giving me what I want. Okay. No.
So it's a diction. What's the dictionary type? Because query matrix is a dictionary, right? So it's a string of an array of numbers.
No, I think it's giving me what I'm supposed to get. I'm just not used to this concept of a value collection.
No, hold on a second.
Like I should be able to say this right here. Array dot, and then in theory I would say of map or something, but it doesn't like that. Of sequence, I don't know. Does that compile? Yeah. This is what I was looking for.
Okay.
I'm so smart.
Because in C#, getting the values from a dictionary would embeddings dictionary would give you a key value pair array. But then I don't know.
Look how dorky this code is, man. I have no clue. I do have a clue what this stuff is doing, but I'm not a.
This is your test. This is so you're supposed to be able to understand it from this.
Yeah, I wrote it. It still looks cryptic to me, even though I try my best to like create a DSL in F# for a generative AI implementation. This is gonna take me forever to figure out this part. how to get this thing to compile. So your vector product takes a float array and another float array and returns a float array. I don't know if I need to create. Oh, because a vector is not a matrix. I gotta figure. I have to figure out without relying on ChatGPT how to write the code for multiplying matrices. And I know at a high level it should be relatively easy. I don't, like I I refuse to use ChatGPT for things that I should really just be able to write on my own.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I mean,
Somebody
there's
was saying too that if you use it too much, I mean, you're just outsourcing your own thinking, which means your brain's just going to get rotted.
yeah. I mean, I used it to
to
I used ChatGPT to write me the code for a soft function. A soft function, no, softmax. For softmax, a softmax does some statistic distribution of everything adding up to 1 or 100% by using like summations and divide by the square root of something something, like stuff right here. And I was like, I have no interest in writing that code at all. That's not my objective, is to write any code that deals with square roots and exponential whatever. So I didn't have a problem using ChatGPT to write this, but everything else I wanted to write using my own brain. And I still have to refactor because I don't like the fact that I have to rely on dictionaries in F sharp when as a purist I should really be relying on the map type. So for example,
Yeah, you're making a mutation there, man.
oh
The
no,
heck?
something's wrong with me. Let's see.
Lit mutable.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I have this filth all over my code where I use
God.
dictionaries. Freaking filth.
Sometimes it's fine though. It's imperative. Sometimes it's fine.
I agree with you, but it shows that I'm not as smart as I want people to think I am because I have to rely on mutability for core domain logic.
Sometimes it's just a better tool though.
Mm. Like if I tried to replace this, hold up. This is called token to text. Hold up, crap. Is Gambler on yet? I haven't looked at my comments.
I'll check. I don't think so. Nope, not yet.
Yeah, so if I tried to do this, say map. Oh shoot, I was expecting it to. Oh yeah, I'm using mutable up here too. Yeah, I'm a bad developer.
Gosh, man, where's your sense of pride and absence of mutability? Come on, man.
I'm taking query products. Watch this. I just want to see what ChatGPT says.
Make it so there's no mutability, or
Yeah, yeah. Why do I always have to do this in Edge? I've been reading a lot on hacking and penetration testing, and it's starting to make me very like conscientious of sharing my desktop on the internet.
yeah, don't be hacking.
I don't want to get hacked.
Don't be getting hacked. What can I help with?
How can we make this function pure without Mutability. Did I spell all this right? Build query products. Oh, they make it recursive. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and say
Recursion.
without
Yeah.
using a dictionary type.
You just say as pure function.
Instead, use a map. Hooked on phonics works for me.
All right, I have embedded a pirate map into the code. Arr. God,
There you go.
I'm odd this morning. I woke up like 2 seconds before I was supposed to get on because my wife came in. Said, "Didn't you have your call today?" My alarm didn't go off, so I didn't really have any ramp up time. So I'm a little loopy. Go.
So it has a recursive function called build query products. It takes a query index and query products. Okay, this part makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But then, all right, query vector equals input embeddings, query index, scores weights, context vector, query product. And how does it build query products, query index plus one, query product? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, it probably would have taken me like 4 hours to figure this logic out. All right, I can stop sharing my screen.
Oh, that's fine. You can keep working. Oh, good.
All right, F sharp like a anteater eats crickets. I don't know what that means.
You're right. F sharp, like a white dude LARPs. No. Live action roleplay. You ever hear that?
No, what's that?
LARPing. It's where you
It sounds sexual. I don't.
no, you like you get like these like foam colored covered swords and shields and stuff like that, and then you go and like role play like it's medieval times, and then you can fight and stuff like that.
Mm,
You ever watched the comedy movie? Oh gosh, what is it? Role Models. They kind of feature this and that a little
no.
bit, but it's a real thing. People do it.
Have you returned back to training?
No, nope.
Are you done now?
I don't know. I was thinking about that last night. Once my work settles down and I get bored again, maybe I'll pick it up. I don't know, but right now I'm just between ice fishing and work. It's like I just like no time to do anything. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I'll probably pick it up again once the thing gets. I'm not doing any. Well, I'm not planning on doing any half marathons or anything like that or marathons this year, but maybe there's ones in October and stuff like that. That I don't know, but I might do some 5Ks or 10Ks. We'll see. I just have to get it picked up again.
Mm.
But yeah, but ice fishing and stuff. I hate it because it's like my work takes up the whole week, and then I'm going to do ice fishing, but I have no time to prep for it. So last night I got to go buy a generator. So my other one won't. The carburetor must be all gunked up on it, so it won't run. So I have to get it repaired. But started trying to take it apart and repair it myself, but I'm like, I do not have the tools for this.
You said carburetor.
Yeah.
thought a carburetor is only for cars.
Mm-mm. Most like 2-cycle engines or whatever use it, or 2-stroke or whatever. Um, Either in the power sports or these are generators. So generators use carbs to they just, all it is mixes the gasoline with air and then spits it in to get fired upon. So the principle is the same whether it's a large engine or a small engine, unless you got fuel injection, which is
Yeah, I thought that
way
was called
better.
fuel injection.
Well, fuel injection's a different alternative to carbureted whatever, and that's I don't know if that's I don't really know much about it. I just think it squirts it in or something. I don't really know. Literally injects it.
Are you into watches?
No, not really. I've never been able to keep something on my wrist that long. I get rashy or I don't know.
It's because it's fake. I I was gonna buy myself a really nice luxury watch as uh as a reward for me completing my Azure certification, and then I went broke and I couldn't afford it again. I was ready, man. I had like my budget was like $20,000. Um,
You put it into Bitcoin and have it go to the moon
nah,
instead.
no, I didn't have a job, so my life expenses, right, between my car note, insurance, my the rent I pay for a condo, that stuff just eats away each month.
Yeah, I tell you, if you just moved somewhere where it wasn't so expensive, you'd be living
What's that?
high life here.
Isn't it called King Seiko? I mean, I'm interested in King Seikos. It's just there's very few watches that really jump out at me that I'm like, oh man, that's really nice. Yeah, it's Grand Seiko. That's what I was looking for.
What
Um,
makes Seiko? Is that like a Japanese watch?
yeah, it's Japanese
Oh,
has entered Japan has entered the arena to compete with German and Swiss watches.
hopefully, Gambler doesn't come on and realize you're cheating on him with these Swiss watches.
I wonder if he's into watches. I mean, I haven't wore my last watch was a $60 watch from Amazon, but it was like wood grain. I thought it was different. Yeah, these people, they kind of got annoyed when I would keep walking in there and not buying anything. Grand Seiko Boutique, Miami Design District.
Hmm.
Yeah, like this doesn't jump out at me.
Looks like a
Um,
standard watch.
this is a dress watch. That doesn't jump out at me. That doesn't jump out at me. You see, I mean, look, this is a $300,000 watch.
Ooh, man. 30. No, that's a 365,000 watch.
$300,000 watch.
Yeah,
Oh,
jeez.
oh, next to it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, jeez, man. That's expensive. Holy cow.
Yeah, I think I'm in the wrong category. It would suck to get robbed for a watch that costs that much.
How much are you looking to spend?
You mean how much was I looking to spend
Yeah.
before? My budget was 20,000 when I was ready to buy. Now, I don't know, maybe 5,000. But I mean, the probability of me actually buying a watch now for 5,000 is like 5%. It's not going to happen.
Why? Oh, just because you want something better?
I'd rather put that money towards my next motorcycle.
Oh, I see.
Why am I not seeing? If I click on this, I like this wood grain. Yeah.
Here we go. I got the watch for you. It's the Casio G-Shock.
Those are popular with cops and mechanics.
They're $150. How about this? A Rolex Explorer 2. It's only $9,000.
For a Rolex.
Yeah.
I wanted the Daytona 500 Rolex, or is it? I think it's just called Daytona, the Rolex Daytona,
Well, this looks cool. Get the.
or the Sky Dweller.
What the heck is this? Get the Britling Emergency. It's got a beacon finder in it. So if you're ever lost in the Swiss Alps, they can find you. Have you heard this brand? Breitling?
Yeah,
So you know all the brands.
I mean they rely on movie star celebrities to model their watches, such as Brad Pitt and what's the other chick from The Mask? Who's the lady that starred in The Mask?
I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that movie. Maybe Cameron Diaz?
Yeah, her. Yeah, like none of these watches jump out at me. But if I type in Rolex Sky Dweller, I don't know how to spell. Um,
What about FP Journe watches?
I don't know anything about that.
Aha! I found a watch you didn't know about. But why does it say Rolex?
Look at this. Of course, I wouldn't get all gold.
Oh, maybe they don't make them anymore.
Of course, you can't just go into a Rolex shop and just buy a Rolex that you want. You have to buy a Rolex that you probably don't want, just so that you could build and maintain a relationship. And then over time, after you bought enough watches, they'll finally let you buy the watch that you want. But
Oh,
you have to
really?
spend money with them first on watches that you don't want.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I would get something like this one right here.
These are weird watches. Habring. Have you ever heard that one? Habring Squared.
Nah.
Dude, there's a lot of random. I just asked ChatGPT to give me the most obscure but popular, like watch brands or something like that, or like niche or like not well known watches, but they're people like them. How about this one? Acrivia. These look
Like,
kind of cool.
I like this one. This one in black.
Why gotta be black?
You're right. Let me find the
The
green band.
site sucks though.
You don't like the site?
No, this one I'm looking at.
Oh,
Baltic watches. Mosier and Clyde. Dude, there's a lot of brands of watches. Oh, it's in a Scottish brand of watches. Ordadian. I don't think you'd like these watches though.
I mean, what's fascinating about them is they're mechanical and not battery operated. So you wind it, and it's just the amount of math and engineering for something to stay that precise um, for that amount of time before
Mm-hmm.
before its precision gets I don't know what the right word is, skewed.
I think you should get a LaVenture watch. These look cool.
LaVenture. Well,
Automobile limited to 99
I think
pieces.
I showed you the
Sold
watch.
out.
I think I
Ah,
showed you the watch I was going to get. That I drove like 2 hours to buy it, and they didn't have it in stock. And it's not because it was popular. It's not. No one wants it except me. It's a Glashütte. I don't know how to spell Glashütte. It was a
Glashütte.
Glashütte. Uh, it was this watch right, except it had a black face to it, a black dial, and the black dial isn't popular.
Why? Seems like it would be great.
I don't know. It's not even showing up in here. Um. Uh.
Glacier.
This stuff is so complicated. Hold up. The collection panel. Yeah, I think I'm over here. Where's the black dial at? Yeah,
So what?
I was going to get this one right here.
Hmm. So what makes a good watch? Is it just the metals and shit it's made out of? The brand?
That it can appreciate over time, over
If
in
you don't
value.
wear it?
Well, I mean, you can wear it as long as you don't scuff it up. Uh, that the accuracy that it has over time without a battery.
I gotcha. Well,
If it's Swiss or German,
why is it got to be Swiss or German?
because human beings they tend to put value on where something's from, even though it has no utility.
Can't find a nice African watch. Support your friends back home. No.
A- African engineering. Um, I don't know.
There's got to be. I'm gonna look it up. African made.
A lot of smart Nigerians,
Oh yeah,
Egyptian engineering, but they don't want to.
the Lion Watch Company, Kenya.
Really?
Let
Let
me
me
see if
see.
they got a website.
No, your cat needs attention.
The Lion Watch Company. That looks different. Let's see.
Does it
There's a
have an
lot of
alarm?
South African ones.
Does it have an alarm on it?
You looking for Nigeria?
I bet you I know what the alarm sounds like on the watch. On a Nigerian or on a African watch, you know what the alarm sounds like?
What? Jeez, man.
Oh, funny.
That's so you cat. Let's see here.
I can't find lion watch. Is it one word?
Lion Space Watch. Let me see. Who we are. Oh, is this Morocco he's from? Or so it's Lion Watch dash Maroc. So it's Morocco. So yeah, it's technically Africa. Oh wait, Le Lion Watch Company. You know what? Maybe that's one I found. You want out, don't you, cat? All right, I'll let you out. You can go chew on some cords somewhere else. Get out of here. Intersect timepieces in Ghana.
Now I got to refactor all my code that has a dictionary and use recursion.
I don't think recursion's purely functional, though, right?
It
Or no?
is.
Oh, it depends on the language because it can
It's
have a side effect of
purely
a stack.
functional.
No, it can have a side effect of Stack Overflow.
What does that have to do with it not being purely functional?
Well, if there's a side effect, doesn't it? Well, I guess anything can have an out of memory error. So
Purely functional means that you don't mutate any values, regardless of a finite amount of
yeah, I
compute
thought it was more
resources.
about side effects. Well, partially about side effects. Immutability is another feature, but I thought purely functional meant there's no side effects. But technically, every bit of code has a possible side effect because you could literally try to allocate memory and not have enough.
I mean, the fact that you have voltage hitting a transistor is a side effect, no?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that there are constraints regardless. So it's like for it to have no chance of side effects, you have to have infinite resources. But that being said, it's pretty easy to hit a Stack Overflow.
Yeah, I'm going to spend the next 2 hours refactoring every function in my code base for that project to use recursion and to use a map instead of a dictionary.
Have you asked to try to do it without recursion? See what it does.
I don't think it's possible.
So what's the procedure? It's
Um, I'm I'm building up I'm doing a whole bunch of math calculations, and I'm building up a. It's hard for me to explain. I have like a nested for loop in theory,
mm-hmm.
and I'm building up a collection of items that's the output of that function that contains the nested for loop.
So it's a map. Yeah.
I don't know if that really helps you.
Yeah, it doesn't. Just bring up the code again. Now I feel like we have to solve this without recursion. It's got to be a way. If it was in C#, I'd find a way.
Well, that's the whole point. To
Here, have it converted to C# so I can understand what the hell it's doing.
It's going to take several pages. I think oh, is it over here?
So context vector details, then you have a build query products. So if it's less than the length of the embeddings, so this converts embeddings to query products or what? What's input embeddings? Oh, that's the top. So it's using a local function basically, and that's caught in its closure. So
Well, this is a generated code. My code was this right here. No, hold up. That's not true. My code is this right here. Which is why they should increase the window size.
they have a in the advanced one they have a
You talking about canvas?
yeah, they got canvas. So you're computing this from
Maybe it's easier if you just look at the original code.
yeah. So hold on. So you've got this collection of input embeddings from query index 0 to the length. So it's from 0 to the length -1. Walk it through, create a query product, and then put it into the collection.
Yeah.
Dude, that is literally just a map. Wouldn't it just be input embeddings dot? Well, if this was C#, it would be like input embeddings dot select and then you would do your whole contents there to produce the query product, and then possibly return a key value pair, and then do a to dictionary where you, if you wanted a dictionary, where you just set the key to the first value and the value to the actual value, or the key to whatever, if you put it in a tuple or whatever.
Use it purely functional. You're not supposed to use for loops either.
Yeah, that's what I said. You got to take you. This is a select on an input embeddings. There's no recursion here needed unless I'm missing something. So if you did input embeddings dot.
First of all, let me find a test that this actually. Oh crap! So here's the test, and I'll put a breakpoint right here just to demonstrate the test passes. And then because it's easy to you, we can change 2 lines because you think it's easy.
Well, I don't know the F# syntax, so I'm not sure what the map. But this is just a select statement, though, right? And then I don't know if does it have a to dictionary. Although to dictionary might be impurely functional, but to you, it's just a function you're calling.
Where do I put those breakpoints at? I don't know where I'll put it. I'll put it somewhere.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever.
So you're saying
it's input embeddings, and then so instead of that.
So you're saying take
input embeddings, the equivalent of a select, so map.
Map or iter dot or map.
It'd be a map. I don't know which one it is, but it's select in link. It's a map in JavaScript. I believe it's a map here. That always trips me up that it's the first input to the next function. You don't even have to think about it, but man.
Yeah.
And then literally just the content returning the query product. But if you need to put it into a dictionary, take whatever the key is and make it the put in like a tuple to create a key value pair. Although you could have an exception there too, a side effect with the duplicate keys, maybe.
I think Gambler is boycotting me.
No, he was here last week, or was it the week before? He was here 1 week. Yeah, so you get your query vector, you get your scores, you get your whatever, you then create the query product, and then you just return it as part of the. See that last one? I'm not really sure what that syntax is. So it's query products is a dictionary, or is it a collection, or what is it?
I think it's a list. It's a list.
Oh, it's just a list. Okay, yeah. Then just you don't need to do that. Just return the query product, the one here. So you're just concatenating that onto the end. So as part of this lambda or whatever, you just return the created query product. Yeah.
I hate using Macs. It throws me off.
Well, Macintoshes.
MacBook, yeah, MacBooks. All right, so now what?
Okay, hold on. So, but result is you got to take return the query product within the lambda, right? So you've got function v, a function of v does all that thing. Oh,
I'm missing the this parentheses out of place.
Yeah, I just how the hell is the Why is the query product named that way? That's freaking weird. Does so you need an
And
index?
there's no more query because this is V.
Yeah, can't you do v comma query index, or does it not have that within F sharp? So in C sharp, select
There's a
an
map.
option with an
There's a
index,
map. There's a map I.
which will give you that plus an index.
Yeah.
Or I suppose you don't even. All you need is the index. So you could literally have done range.
Well, the index comes first.
But do you even need v? Is the question.
I don't think so.
Because then you could have just done a range. But I guess it depends on if you've got a range to work with in F sharp. But then yeah, so that you got to return that query product. You got to make it and then return it rather than.
Hold on. So what's the functional way of just getting a index?
So I would have done.
I mean, because
It'd be
I mean,
a function.
I could do this, but I mean, what's the?
So does F sharp have the equivalent of creating a range within enumerable? I guess I could ask you. I'll ask and find out what it is here. I just don't know. Sequence.init syntax.
I'll figure out later.
Yeah, do this sequence seq.init, and then the length of the thing -1.
Hold on, give me 1 second. Why isn't this?
You got to return it. You're creating a type there rather than.
Oh, yeah. Hold up.
It's create that content as a query, whatever, and return it.
And we could say this is supposed to be a array.
Of course, if you're just getting the input embeddings at the query index, you can just use v, that second one. Just name it input embedding, and then give it as the query vector plus the. Do you even need that query vector for anything? Oh yeah.
Hold up. You're saying
So you don't need the query index, except for you do need it for the token to text one. So you need both, right? So that replaces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but so query index comma, then whatever input embeddings, and then you can replace it on line 133 and on 142. That whole section where you're sub-indexing. Yeah, 133 and then 142. 142. Yeah.
I hit trees like Sonny Bono. Oh no, from Cleveland to Toronto.
There. So then you're using the query index to get it out of the token text. Based on that, assuming token text is the same size, that could also throw off an exception or a break if you had an out of index setup. But
I hit trees like Sonny Bono. Oh no, from Cleveland to Toronto. Let's see if you're right.
filter map reduce, man.
We're still using a dictionary, but we could change that out later. Yeah. It does require recursion because I want to get rid of this type right here.
Well, why do you even need that type to begin with?
From Cleveland to Toronto. from the streets. Hold up. This should compile now. Why is the red squiggly still here? Okay. Okay,
It's slow.
okay.
Everything got slower once they put AI and everything. Man, I hate modern tooling. It annoys the hell out of me.
Oh, that passes. You're so smart.
But now you wanted to get rid of your token to text?
Hold
Because
up.
that's not part of this function. It's just taking the dictionary. So you'd have to figure that out in a different place. I feel dirty every time that I use I do a for each like that, and then I put it into a list. But like people, like there's some prejudice against even somewhat medium complexity link queries where I'm at. So I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I can do a for each and put into a list. But it's like it's pretty obvious the pattern that you match to know whether like you could be using link instead. Like it's anytime you have a collection that you're building out of a for each loop. And you could say if there's an if statement in it, that's a select, if it's or a where. If you're doing a transformation to a new type, that's a select. If you're actually not producing an output list, but producing some sort of an aggregate value like a sum, that's an aggregation, or a reduce. It's so easy to spot like the cases where it makes sense to use them, but
Well, that was helpful. I still got to replace this later, but
yeah, I was gonna say you don't need no stinking recursion for that.
I do.
That's just crappy.
For the map part, if I want to use maps instead of dictionaries.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. So a dictionary is a map, right? Unless you're talking
No.
Or are you talking like a
they're
map
not.
function?
When a dictionary adds an item, that dictionary object changes. It mutates.
Mm-hmm.
When a map adds an item, it returns a new map with that item added. Two different things.
Well, yeah, but
For a purist, they do it
make that a
because
map
they can. Because then I got to use recursion. That's the whole point.
Where? Not here. So you're talking like a hash. So it's a hash set is what you're building, right? In C#. Well, no, it'd be like a hash set with a value. So, but yeah.
A hash set guarantees. Hold up.
It's a distinct item.
It guarantees uniqueness. And
it's dictionary is just a hash set.
It's just a sequence of values that guarantees distinct elements.
Well, use a map instead. You don't need recursion.
Yeah.
Unless you're traversing something, you don't need recursion. Recursion is like great when you're traversing a tree of data. So if you had a dictionary of dictionaries of dictionaries, or like a dictionary of a type that has a dictionary of a type of itself in it, where it itself is recursive and you need to go down nodes, then yeah. But if you're trying to just build up, see, that one still has a dictionary in it. That doesn't have recursion.
No, that's not the answer. The answer is down here. This rec, as in recursion or recursion.
You're not building the token to text. They just had it inserted. They don't show you how to build it. It's the same thing whether it's a map or a dictionary there.
Okay.
You need to look at where the dictionary was being built from if you want to get rid of it.
I'm glad you know my code more than I do. Because it's not registering me because, well, one is I've been awake for 3 hours. But
oh man, that sucks. You just have an early bedtime?
Yeah.
I always wonder about that. People are like, well, yeah, wake up at 4 a.m. and do this. It's like, well, what time did you go to bed?
Yeah, I'll go to bed like around 8 o'clock, 8:30.
Yeah, that's pretty early. I usually go to bed at between 10 and 11 sometimes. It's kind of my wind down in time.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I barely write F sharp anymore, and this stuff looks different.
Yeah, I guess if you are used to seeing C sharp, but it's not totally. It's just I don't know what the uh, like tools that are available to you are. I know that it's got
I
pretty
wish
much
I
everything
could.
in C sharp, but
I wish I could do a Control RM right here. Do you use Writer?
uh, well, I would use Visual Studio, but I use Visual Studio Code right now because that's what my work uses. So
One thing that I do is um, my name
you
my name is
you put it
Scott.
in. You put your you take your lambdas out of lambdas and
Yeah,
move it to embed. Why?
because I don't
You can
like
name it.
I don't like dangling right parentheses. It looks weird to me. The reason why I like F sharp is because of the aesthetics.
Yeah, you know what? The first time you start using those, someone will have a stupid formatter is going to wipe it. Style cop. You can't do anything like this. God, I hate style cop. I hate the whole idea of style cop. If you can tell me that this is wrong, just fix it. You know how to fix it. You should know how to fix it. Like that's why one thing I really like about JavaScript is prettier. It just fixes it. It just says, okay, this is ugly. I'm going to make a consistent style for you. You know what the real holy grail would be of editors is if you could just have it automatically translate every bit of code into what your favorite style is, and then it just you know, and then it converts it to a common style so that everyone else can choose what style they want.
Mm,
That'd be sweet. Totally like customized to the way that you process things visually. God,
what
I
do you
hate style cop.
what do you think the next 12 months of software development is going to be like?
Probably the same as the last 12 months.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there'll
I,
obviously be more AI usage, but I don't know. I think people, I've heard a couple people use it, and I'm like, and I use it too, but they use it for certain code things to try to figure out, and I'm like, yeah, it's not going to be able to figure that out. It would need your whole code base, and it
I
would have
think
to sit there and reason about it, and
I was
no,
watching a YouTube video on Devin being disproven.
dev end.
Isn't it called Devin, the AI?
Oh yeah, yeah. I before E except after C was disproven by science. You know that?
Dude, I'm the type of dude at work. You don't even see what I just did. I'm the type of dude at work where I'll see two carriage returns and I'll go like this.
No, I'll do that too.
And then I'll check it in. And that's why they hate me for it.
Why? It's fine.
Well, because they want to create a feature branch for everything.
Oh, you mean you just commit that straight? It's like why? Why branch then? If you're allowed to push to main, like why
I've been
wouldn't you just do that for that?
I've been doing it anyway, unless there's a formal story. Um, if there's a formal work item, then I'll create a branch. But if I'm like just seeing things that don't look right, or I need to add like a log entry,
Yeah,
like logger
trivial
dot
things.
log error or logger dot log information, I'm not creating a branch for it. I'm sorry. They hate me for it.
I don't think so. I wouldn't hate you for it. I would think that that would be applauded because you're trying to keep the code base cleaner.
Although if C# had something like, or F# had something like prettier, man, it would be much better. God, that's the one thing that I just really like about JavaScript. It's prettier. It's like the best thing. Write code however you want. It'll just format it and make it nice for you. It'll do it to style. You don't even have to think about it.
That's not JavaScript. That's Visual Studio Code.
Well, it's prettier in. I mean, we use it in Visual Studio Code. I'm sure it's available in other things, or it's just a tool or whatever. But
Am I sharing my screen?
no,
Hold up. Let's try to hack StreamYard. I've been listening to a lot of hacking podcasts.
Hmm.
I think it's more interesting. So if I hit F12, now what? What do I do?
Sorry, say that again.
I hit F12 and I'm sharing my screen. So now it brings up developer tools. What am I supposed to do now?
For what?
What does this stuff mean? You see my
So
screen?
this is your network traffic. So this is the network requests that are being made from your from yourself to the whatever backends behind this. So it keeps calling updated episodes v2 org, updated episodes v2 org. So you click on one, you'll get like more information about it.
Is this stuff going to show my IP address?
That's full story. I don't know that it would unless they're putting it in your thing. It shows the remote address, which is where this is going to. So this is going to StreamYard's API media isolated parent, some token updated, and it's a GET request. You can look at the content. If you go to preview, you can look at what came back with the response. Then you can look at some other crap that it is tied to it. Content security headers, which are content security, those are like the places that are allowed to call out to. So like it can go to Akamai, and it can go to Google and Bing and analytics and whatever. Frames have to be from the same origin. It's going through Cloudflare as its proxy or whatever the yeah.
Do you casually just look at stuff like this when you're on websites?
I've looked at some. So if you go to the console, sometimes what you do if you open up on a site, if you open up their pages, some of them will put like, "Are you looking for a job in here?" Because if you're opening it up to actually like look at the network tools while you're on it, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen a site like that. Trying to think of if I know any off the top of my head that do that. They just have their site automatically print out, "Are you looking for a job?"
It's a lot of errors.
So yeah, it depends. Yeah, so probably what happens is that Google Tag Manager isn't in the there's usually like a lot of errors that happen on websites that you just don't even know about, because sometimes they're not even errors, they're expected, but to JavaScript they're an error, or they're treated like an error by the browser. But yeah, so this one is like they have a content security policy that says that you can't you can only reach out to these sites. Well, Google Tag Manager is trying to use googletagmanager.com or whatever, and that's that you can't reach out to it. And the whole reason they do that is to prevent like cross-site scripting, I believe it is. So what happens is if you had, let's say, a blog and you posted a bit of JavaScript as a post, and then that came back and got executed as JavaScript, in your thing, it could reach out to other sites to give away some of your data that you're looking at. So the content security policy says that, oh no, you're not in the allowed list of what you can actually reach out to here. So, but progressive web apps are cool too. This is that app manifest thing. Have you ever just randomly installed a site on your computer? So if you go to X, or Twitter, and you should see that little thing that popped up right next to the star in the URL bar. I saw that one too. It's on my. So if you go to where it says x.com/home and then go all the way over to the other side where the bookmark star is, there's that little.
Hold on, what did I just miss?
Oh, I guess she.
Oh, he almost. No, there wasn't a chair there. He almost. That's weird. Oh, this is the funeral.
Oh, there where he looked back. Yeah, it's Carter's funeral.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyways, what are you saying?
So you go to the top and you go over to that little in the URL bar, right, where your x.com/home is. You go to the other side where the star. There's that little computer symbol with the
Why is this right here?
Down. That's probably going to your router. Gambler's on. But yeah, go to that. Go to it. Up top.
Go what? Now I'm paranoid about this IP address. Now I gotta delete this video.
Dude, no. That IP address is a standard IP address that's every computer has.
Okay.
So 192.168.0.1 is your route, usually your router home or your whatever. So it would go to a router. Like if I put that in, it'll go to my router. If you put that in, it'll go to your router. But go to the top where your star is in your URL bar.
Okay.
And then you see the little computer one next to it.
Yeah.
Click that one.
What do you have me doing?
So you can install X as a progressive web app, which is like having it as an app in your computer, but it's like it's a web page. You can do this on your phone, and it's way nicer, by the way. Progressive web apps. I think it's the Starbucks app is purely a progressive web app, so you don't have to go to the App Store to download it. You just click download or like install like you did from Chrome, and it'll just install it.
Isn't it a progressive web app? Regardless, when you go to the URL, it figures out what device you're on, and it modifies the user experience.
No, that would be like a media query, or a device query or whatever. That would be a media query, but basically, yeah, that would do it. So this actually installed it on your operating system.
What is Grok?
Grok is their AI.
What does it do?
Whatever other AI does.
What's the point of them having this? This is so you can search for something?
There's other things that they're integrating it in, or it's just so I think Elon Musk's idea with X, even prior to even Twitter, when he bought it to make X on because he didn't want to try to grow one from scratch, but he wanted to have it, and he wants it to be like the one end all app, like it does it all. So it's got video, audio, text, it does AI, like everything. So well, it won't unless it's got a spreadsheet attached to it. Then I'm thinking, yeah.
No, okay. I want to get hacked now.
No, there isn't anything on here that would be, returnable or whatever, or it's really identifiable in terms of your location and such.
Hey, gambler.
Gambler cheating on cheating on the Swiss with some Japanese-made watches.
Yeah, we were looking at watches. Nothing really jumped out at me, though.
You gotta stop watching and start doing.
They're gonna start having tattoos that have like biomechanical features, such as a watch. You're gonna have a tattooed watch on you.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know where the electricity would come from, but
Your heart.
sorry if it's lit up. I mean, trying to think of like how you would, like, what's the mechanism for it would be to, I don't know. Maybe if you put a very thin film of LEDs or something underneath your skin
I mean, your blood pressure.
and used your body's natural electricity to, I don't know. Like that movie, was it Time Out or something like that? Where it had Justin Timberlake in it, and people, instead of passing around money, you exchange time.
I actually know what you're talking about. I was watching that a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I fell asleep during it. I fall asleep during 80% of movies that I watch.
I used to be really big into movies, and then suddenly now I'm like you. I'd fall asleep during half of them. So I don't know. TikTok's probably killed our brains. Can't focus on anything for more than 10 minutes.
I got 3 Lego boxes that I still have to like take out and put together. I have a PlayStation 5 headset from 2 years ago that I still haven't taken out the box. Just looking at stuff on my living room table that's just collecting dust, waiting to be opened. When's the last time you did anything with Legos?
I don't really do much with Legos. My wife does though. She just bought herself a Dobby from Harry Potter set to work on. She reordered a replacement piece because my son's Spider-Man one was missing a piece, so now he's putting that together too. So
There you go.
but yeah, I don't know. Ice fishing for me this weekend again. I went last weekend, the weekend 2 weeks before that.
You catch catfish?
No. You'd have
That
to
thing
go in
is
like the
loud.
river.
What is
Sorry.
that? Oh,
Just like this thing I spin. I forgot that it's kind of loud when this is up here. No, you'd have to go river, probably in the river to catch catfish. So we'd target walleye or perch or crappie and it'd be really cool to catch a burbot or a eel pout. I might have talked to you about these last week or something, but they're like a rough or not. They're like a bottom feeding fish, and they look kind of like more like an eel than a fish. But they're a member of like is it the halibut family or something like that, or is it? I don't remember. Anyways, they're part of some other fish family, and they're really gross and slimy, but when you cut them up and eat them, they're like lobster, that texture of lobster. So they call it poor man's lobster.
oh. You think? I don't know if you follow astronomy, but they have plans. I think within our lifetime to drill into one of the icy moons of. I think it's
Jupiter,
Jupiter. I'm not. Is it?
Titan.
No,
Oh,
no, no.
Titan.
Titan's not a. It's cold, but it's not an ice moon.
Oh,
Is it? It's not. Is it Ulysses?
Europa.
Europa? I don't know. What is Ulysses? I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's Europa. Because they believe it has like hella ocean under the shell. My question is,
There's Europa, Ganymede, Lo, Callista, whatever.
yeah, Europa. So my question is, it kind of sounds ignorant because just because you don't find life within
Oh, that's
20,
Titan's
20
the Saturn moon. Sorry.
just because you don't find life with a single instrument that only covers 0.000000001% of the area of the moon doesn't necessarily mean that no life exists. But I was saying if they if they don't find any trace of microorganisms in that ocean under the moon, does that change our perception of life elsewhere? Especially with the argument that wherever there is water, there's life.
No.
You would still be optimistic.
Well, so that I don't think wherever there's water is life. It's wherever there's water is capable of life. But there could be silicone-based life forms that, for instance, that just operate completely differently. So I don't
Why
think
gotta be
that's
silicone?
because isn't silicone pretty like naturally very close to carbon? So it's something where it could have similar kind of setup. But
You think the periodic table is complete?
no,
Isn't the periodic
yeah,
table literally just adding and removing protons and
yeah,
electrons and neutrons?
yeah. But yeah, I mean, we don't know what the world could dream up for, beings that are, structured out of her. So it could be made of anything, and it could be maybe there's organisms that don't require water. You just got to be more creative.
Hmm. If that's the case, shouldn't we be able to easily detect life?
No,
Okay.
it's far away, man. There might be no other life in our solar
Within our
system.
solar system.
Oh, I don't know.
I understand that we've only like scanned 0.000 to the Google, probably to the Google
Yeah.
exponentially area of the planets. Oh no, I think if we don't see any microorganisms when we just sample the ocean, there's going to be a huge disappointment. Maybe not disappointment, but revelation.
No, like you said, there's a lot of fish in the sea.
There is, but I could literally, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. What I wanted to say is, in theory, I could. Hold up. In theory, I could go to Antarctica, take a tablespoon, scoop up some water from the ocean, put it under an electron microscope, and still see life, even or microbes. So in
Maybe.
theory, if Antarctica is deemed inhospitable, but it still has life everywhere, then in theory, they should be able to drill into Europa, take a tablespoon, and see microbes. I don't know.
No. Well, having life doesn't mean necessarily that you have to have abundant life.
Well, it's been sitting there for billions of years. Why wouldn't it? If life is known to reproduce and evolve,
Well, maybe life just formed 10 minutes ago.
okay.
So if let's just say it's purely evolutionary, right? At one point in time, there was one organism on the earth, right?
Who says this?
It had to have been, right?
I mean, we assume that, sure,
Sure. So there had to have been one.
but that's not necessarily true, though.
Or there could have been multiple, but
Well,
at
like
one point,
the theory
it
of
had to have been one.
no, the theory of transpermia is a comet or a meteor can hit Earth that already has microbes, meaning more than one on it.
Great. Well, then that meteor at one point in time had one microbe on it.
But it doesn't have to have one microbe on it.
Why?
If a celestial object hits Earth, it could have hella microbes on it. Why would it have just one?
But it had to have started with just one on that thing. It's recursive. Like you could just
if your argument is life somewhere in the universe had to start with just one, then I can understand that argument.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And so just because it propagated here because of something else blew up and the microbe landed on Earth, and that's what it made it super like like putting bacteria in a petri dish. Like, yeah, but it still started with just one somewheres. So literally, like that planet could have one microbe on it that's just at the budding stage of life could have a dozen in a small colony somewhere out of millions, or what I assume is millions of miles or thousands of miles of surface area and water. So, yeah, just from a yeah.
The shade from no alive to alive is somewhat smooth transition. It's hard to have a great line. Is a virus alive or not? Yeah, that's a good point. Well, it is. Uh, a prion or whatever that is called, or an RNA strand. Well,
Well, even if you get it down to its smallest form, there's got to be always got to be at least one that starts it all, right? So I guess it's what at what point when you put the Legos together does it become an organism? You know, a virus could be thought of maybe as an organism, but I thought because it's not like a full system or something. I remember there's a reason why it doesn't get classified as an organism.
well, life in general usually
It's not an
consists.
animal.
Well, it's not. No, it's not an animal, but life is anything that is motivated, I would say, to survive. Those include viruses, bacteria, blah 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 blah. Um, is a piece of dust that's moving because of wind. Is that life? No. How do you define life? It doesn't necessarily have to reproduce. I mean, in 2025, we have hella people not reproducing.
What is life?
Anyways, I got to go. My boss called me.
Oh, damn.
Well, supervisor, should I say. All right.
All right, bye.
See ya.
See you, bye.
Bye.